Sad dog?
No, no, no,
Does it rhyme with stocky?
no,
Does it rhyme with Flodine?
no, These are the top 10 ways to tell you got the wrong applicant in a job interview. Number 10, he asks if you have adequate playground facilities.
yeah.
Number 9, he asks if you're buying lunch. Number 8, under experience on his resume, he puts Sally, Jenny, Bruce, and Yoko.
What? Yoko.
Number 7 of the top 10 ways to tell you've got the wrong applicant on a job interview. He's not tall enough to ride on most roller coasters.
Oh, he must be a midget.
Number 6 of the top 10 ways to tell you've got the wrong applicant at a job interview. He gets beaten up during wheelchair basketball games.
You're making fun of me.
Number 5, he asks if your wife is lactating.
Yeah, now I know you're making fun of me now.
Number 4, he is just as likely to date your mom as your daughter.
Well, that's true.
Number 3, he claims to specialize in boosting productivity of other workers and touches himself frequently during the interview.
That's habit.
Number 2, he stops the interview in order to run to the pet store.
I did not.
And the number 1 way to tell you've got the wrong applicant in a job interview, he was a draft dodger in World War II.
I was not. It was a medical condition. Honest. I got the papers to prove it.
So I can't say this person's name.
It's not me.
I can't say this person's name, but he will be available.
What?
He will be available soon on the job market.
Right.
Do not hire this man.
I love my job.
Do not hire this man.
I'm not looking for a job.
I guarantee you it will be the biggest mistake you've ever made.
Hey kids, what time is it?
The alarm clock screams and there's a cat butt in my face. I don't want to get up, face the human race. I take a shower, I take a pee, I drink some coffee, watch some TV. But nothing seems to keep my eyes open, nothing seems to get my blood flowing. Called up a friend of mine and asked what lights a fire under your behind. He says he spells relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and breasts and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters.
There are 2 participants in the conference. Please announce yourself.
It's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. I took my friend's advice to heart. I bought myself an FM radio. Now every weekday starts with a visit from the morning disaster show. And now I spell relief, R-A-Y-L-Y-T-L-E. Have no fear, the gang's all here, so clean out your ears for the morning disaster. They got gas and breath and testes and rock and roll piled up to the rafters. They're really immature, that there's no cure, but they'll be your favorite podcasters. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster. And it's Ray Lytle's morning disaster.
Oh, yes. How you doing, everybody? It is Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. We are here, and we are hopefully going to entertain you for the next 90 minutes or so. Let's welcome Nick to the program. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
You seem like you look chipper today.
I'm not really chipper, but I'm good. I'm awake. I'm here.
Maybe it's I don't know, there's just something about you. You just look happy
Like
today.
glowing.
Yeah. You look nice and happy.
I'm pretty happy all the time.
I see who else is Doran
try to
on? Doran's on with us. Hi Doran, how you doing, hon? I thought she was on. Maybe she's we don't have her. I see Rocky is on. Hey Rocky, how you doing, man? Welcome back. All right. I thought he was on.
It shows that everyone's in.
Yeah, and Nikki is in as well. Hello, Nikki.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. I actually heard Nikki. I know Rocky's been they've been doing his roof or something. Or
Yeah.
That's why he's missed the last couple of days. But we are all here now. I can't hear, but I see Rocky's on the cam now. I see him on the camera. And I still can't. Why can I not hear you, Rocky?
Because it's waiting for the
Does
host.
he have his microphone on mute?
No, his microphone. I'm sure his microphone's working. I just can't hear him. People are joining us in the chat.
Wednesday. This is when this stuff starts.
They're joining us in the chat room and coming in and giving us nice things like "What up, bitches?" and so on and so forth. Hello, how you doing? I'm glad you guys are all
Nice
here.
colloquial greetings.
I'm glad. Thank you for calling us bitches. We appreciate you being here.
I wonder who that was.
I hear Doran as Jamie, of course. Doran, I can now hear you. I see you in there, but this is the first time I've been able to hear you. Hopefully, Rocky will.
Well, because right as we went on, my phone rang, and it was my pool people that didn't show up yesterday. So they were calling to apologize and say they're going to come today, and I'm not going to be here because of work. And anyway, so yeah, sorry, I'm here. I was just muted.
Well, let the pool people. I mean, do you have to be there?
I do, because I'm getting measured for a new winterized cover, and I have to show them where the concrete. It's a mess. Yeah, I want to be here because I have to be in control of everything.
Well,
So yeah.
People in the chat room saying they could hear Rocky because he was going over the chat. That's not. You shouldn't be able to hear Rocky. I had to turn that off because that'll just confuse.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, I hear you now. How you doing, Rocky?
There.
There he is.
Awesome.
You guys were getting a new roof or something? Is that what was going on?
Hammering and nonstop on the roof. It was all over the house. It's like Dolby atmosphere. It was. I mean, people would have been annoyed, but I thought it was actually cool. It went on for hours.
Yeah, when they
Hours
do
and hours.
that stuff,
Yeah.
it gets very loud.
I mean, about once every 90 minutes, there was a huge thud. That just shook the whole house. So that was when you get used to it.
So you now have a new roof, and it's done.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
I'm unemployed and just bought a new roof.
Well, congratulations. That
That's
sounds
the
like
American way.
a really smart move.
Why do I look like a zombie? Why is my face like white?
There's a blue. You have
Is
a
that just my computer?
There's a bluish.
It's a blue light.
There's a blue tint to you today.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
It looks like he died and no one told him.
right.
Yeah.
I guess I need to get out of the house more often.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
you look nice and happy.
Well, being away from people will put a smile on your face.
Yeah. How often?
Oh my God, you introverts.
How often do you run into people? Because I think that's the best part about what's going on with me is
I
don't
think a
talk to
lot of
anybody.
people are not going to want to be going back to work
yeah.
and going back out into the public to go to work. But I go to the store every once in a while. I visit my mom like every other day, so there's that. Make sure to go visit the elderly.
I love the
exactly
mask.
what you're supposed to do.
I love the mask, by the way, because the mask
Yeah.
keep people from talking. Like I work out every day, and when I used to go, there were no masks before all this stuff. Everybody would talk to me, they'd always want to come up and the old people, they want to share with you their whole story of their life. And sometimes it's nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad, but there are sometimes you just want to get in, get your workout, sweat, be miserable, and go home.
Yeah. Well, I
And-
get to that point. I want to zone out. I want to just
Yeah.
like focus on if somebody's talking, it just pulls me right out of it. And
yeah, I want to get it done. You know what I
but
mean?
I got to get it done. My gym just opened after 3 months or
My
whatever.
advice:
so-
wear a mask so no one talks to you.
Oh well, you have to, I think.
By the way, they have a
But
theory.
with this zombie face, nobody's gonna talk to me anyway. What does it deal with this lighting?
Pat in the chat room says the new roof is blocking all the natural light that you usually get.
Oh wow,
That's what he says.
that's a little better.
It's the new roof. Yeah, it's just it's lighting or whatever. Now you got
Yeah.
there's a little bit of color in your face now. Mine is I look very orange. Nick looks very red.
Well, orange just looks like
Yeah,
there's
I've
some,
got
this looks like more like I'm experimenting now live on your show. Don't mind me.
And Rocky looks blue.
I've got red curtains where the light's coming through, so that's why I look red.
I look orange, right?
Very Trumpish.
Yeah, I'm very Trumpish, yeah. And there's Doran with her hair in a curlers or something.
My curlers. I know. I haven't had a chance to take them out yet. I'm sorry. I'm not Zoom ready. I'm fixing it. Shut up, Jamie.
Do you
I
sleep?
don't even want to
Do
hear
you
it.
sleep like that?
No, these
Oh.
are hot rollers.
Oh, I thought you.
Oh,
slept
wow.
like that.
Anybody old enough to remember Hee Haw?
Yeah.
It's ironing board out.
Oh God. Great.
Sorry.
You're so hot. You're so hot.
I know. I tried.
With your hair zipping curlers, I'd still love to lay you down.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh God. How
Alright.
funny.
There
You
we go.
know what Jamie would say. Regrets and bad decisions. Oh man.
These are actually my hot rollers from high school.
Really? How
Can't believe they still work.
so you've had those for a long
Surprised
time?
they're not at the antique store. Oh yeah,
Damn, good for you.
really long time.
And we are here.
There you go.
Look at her. Look
My
at that.
pics?
Your hair went from
Yeah.
a mess to it looks like you put hours in that hair. And
Yeah.
literally you took out
10 minutes.
you took out the rollers and ran your hands through it. That's what you did with your
Yeah.
hair. Oh, Rocky,
Trick of the trade.
we're glad you're back.
Thanks. Great to be back.
A lot of stuff. 815-414-2125. If you guys want to call in, I can set up the phones where we can take some calls today. We've had some missed calls.
Already?
Yeah, well, because people have left messages. No, over this week. And I play them, but I don't know. Oh, excuse me.
Oh dear.
Pardon me, I had a yawn.
Knock that off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let it out.
I don't know what caused that. We've had messages, but I don't know when the messages are from, so I don't know what they'll be referencing, or I'd play them. But you hate to
Well,
play.
that's the fun mystery of it.
Well, then you got to try to figure out when they were calling from, and like for example, here's one. I don't know. I have no idea when this is from. If it'll play.
Anybody got an over under whether it'll play?
No, it's. I don't think it's going to play.
It's Wednesday. No, it won't play.
It's Google Voice that's screwed up. I don't know.
Not to be confused with Thursday when it won't play. It's a totally different concept.
Wednesday is when everything falls apart.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It never.
Traditional, at least.
Google Voice never wants to play. I don't know why I messed with it. Well, I don't even know why I even attempted that. Anyway, good morning. We are here. If anybody feels like calling in, you can call in. Doran, you look good. You were by the
Yeah.
pool yesterday.
Yes, I was. Today it's a little overcast. But yeah, I was by the pool.
Hey,
And I forgot to crank my umbrella down, and the wind caught it and broke it.
So, oh well.
We know
It's
that
fine.
that you are working and cutting hair as well.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Rocky was I don't know if he's angry at me or not, but because last week he was wanting to get 5 seconds to ask you a question, and I would not stop talking long enough for him to ask the question.
All right.
So
Yeah, would you cut my hair?
Sure. I'd love to.
Style my hair.
I would love to.
Rocky, would you like her to bring
Actually,
those?
it's fix my hair.
Would you like her to
because-
bring those curl
yeah.
things with her?
Well, whatever it takes. She's the professional. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he wanted to come up and have you do his hair.
Sure.
And then he said he was gonna stop by my place, which is
Yeah.
not that far away from where she cuts hair. Actually, we are actually very close.
Mm-hmm.
And he was gonna stop by and get those. We were talking about the videos and the tapes and stuff. And
Oh yeah, trying to salvage those.
but I think it's
That'd
because
be
Rocky
great.
did not believe or did not trust me to actually mail them. I mean,
Possibly.
I do believe that he wanted to get his hair cut, but I also think that he was convinced that I would not, that I would never mail things like I said I would.
Well, I'm getting rusty.
And he didn't trust me, so he wanted to come by. At least that's what I thought. So
Well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. I'll get you on the books and then
Awesome.
just make a day of it.
Yeah. And then so there, Rocky, I made an effort to where you could ask the question that you wanted to.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Doran.
Yeah.
No problem.
I mean, I thought it was kind of nice.
She's saying no problem, like she's got like 100 backlog of like people waiting for her haircut.
Is the backlog still? I know you did for a while, like when we first opened up, but
Yeah, right. It's last week I think was the closest to like a normal schedule that I've had since I was able to go back, the 1st of June. The long days are not, I don't have those anymore. I do actually have to get lunch breaks now. This week's kind of easy, but then next week it's pretty nuts. But it's just, what I mean by nuts is just, my schedule's completely full. So but it's great. It's like I've finally caught my feet. We're just about ready to wrap up baseball season. And so yeah, I finally feel normal. That's why I'm able to get and jump on my yard. Last night, my boyfriend and my son and I laid about 4 yards of mulch in the front and stuff like that. So the yard's shaking up.
So
the pool's good.
Life's
good.
Boyfriend was over laying mulch, huh? Some mulch laying, huh? I'm just saying that's.
Yeah, a little mulch laying.
Is that what the kids call it these days?
Well, it's a pretty serious thing for a boyfriend to be doing. That's all I'm saying.
What, laying mulch?
Yeah, I'm like, if I was dating somebody, I certainly wouldn't come by and and do yard work.
Next day, I'm gonna plant a tree and see how big it's grown.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, well, no, I'm saying that
look how big this thing's getting.
I'm certainly not. I'm not. I mean, no boyfriend's gonna go and do something on the girlfriend's.
Look at this trunk.
To the girlfriend's house. Look at the girth of that. Look at the girth on this one. I'm just saying, who wants to come by? And now I haven't had a girlfriend for a long time, but I'm saying that when I did, there was nothing I was going to do that had any lasting effect unless I was planning to be around for a while. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a pretty big step for a boyfriend. Now, I'm not in my 40s and dating, but you know what I mean? Last time I dated, I was 20. So it just seems like a big step.
Well, he's very helpful. And that's kind of like, that's what I like. I like people that help me out. I mean, that's kind of like the whole love language thing, And I didn't even realize that like people that help me out, and you're kind of the same way, Ray. People that can help you out with things.
Yeah, but I've been around. But I've been around for a long time in your life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason I have been around for a long time in your life. Phone's ringing. Hey, how you doing? Hold on a second. Doran, part of the reason I have been around for a long time in your life is I was not screwing you. You know what I mean? I'm saying
This is true.
Yeah, that's because
This is true.
Because you and I have never had a sexual relationship. It's always been that of friends. And I knew
Friendship.
when I was 20, whatever years old, and I met you and you met me, we've known each other all these years. I've never had any kind of sexual relationship with you that I knew was going to break off. So therefore, I was able to do things to where I could be in your life for a long time. I'm just saying, if we would have met each other and the relationship would have been sexual or that of boyfriend, girlfriend, or any kind of romantic relationship, I wouldn't involve myself in anything that had any lasting, that would need any staying power, you know? Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you wouldn't have put mulch in my yard, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah. I'm just,
no laying of the mulch.
Yeah.
No laying of the
There would be no
mulch.
laying of the mulch.
Not mulch worthy.
Yeah.
You might walk by and pull a weed, but there won't be any mulching or
Yes.
anything that's planned out. And
I might pull a weed, maybe plant one of those
You might point out that they
seasonals.
missed a spot in their yard.
Yes. But I'm just saying, until I get to a point to where there's going to be any kind of staying involved, you know.
So you'd bring her flowers,
Right.
but not help her plant them.
Thank you. Wouldn't plant perennials. Our perennials are
There
ones
you
that
go.
come back every year. That's what I'm getting at. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying you and your boyfriend must have, you know, there must be something going on if he's helping you with mulch or helping you do yard work.
He wants to continue to get laid.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
He wants
you
to-
help me. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
so you're
how-
saying
that's
it
how
has-
that's how my brain works.
So you're saying of the laying of the mulch,
It's a good
he's
tip
more
for tat.
concerned with the laying than the mulch.
Here you go.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Well, I guess
Yeah. So that's how it works.
I'm-
And it
I'm-
works. It works for us.
I've been married
So.
long enough to where, you know, I really don't have to do nice things to get laid. I if any of that makes any kind of sense. I'm saying, I mean, I still do nice things in order to get laid, but I'm saying I don't have to
Have to.
because
Well,
we've
he
been
doesn't
married. We've been
either. If
married
it's,
for
you
20
know,
some odd years.
He asked me if I needed help because I told him I want to try to get some of this mulch put down before dark, and he said, "Do you need some help?" And I said, "I would love some."
I'm
And
just-
he came out and helped me.
I mean, I'm just going on things you've said this week.
Mm-hmm.
The boyfriend's
Yeah.
parents, his parents, were watching your son play baseball.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
not something you do with someone.
Commitment right there.
Yeah, there's not something you do with some chick you're banging. You don't take some fly-by-nighter and say
We're not just dating.
You-
I would say it's a
it's a
relationship.
full-on relationship. Rocky, you ever had anyone you're just banging, or you're gonna go and have your mom meet someone, literally until it gets? Think of it in your life. Until you got serious with someone, you weren't introducing your mom to anybody. Nick, you introduce your parents to anyone
no,
you just met at a bar. You take them over to your parents' house before you go bang.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying that there's a certain level of you've reached a certain level of intimacy if that's going on. There's mulch.
yeah, going to baseball
You're
games. I
wrong,
mean,
Mom.
cheering the
Darwin
kid
wouldn't
on.
talk to me.
Yeah, you got her. That means you're letting his parents into your child's life. I know how important your kid is to you.
Yes.
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
serious
Well,
thing.
they're very good to him. In fact, today my mom's still mad at me, so I'm taking my son to the boyfriend's parents' house to hang out for the day. while I
Oh,
work.
look at that.
So they're gonna bake cookies and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Oh, I think it's a little, yeah. There's something going on. I'm just saying. Good for you.
That's a committed relationship now.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
for you. Nick,
Thank you.
how long did you date before you met your wife's parents? This wife.
Not that long.
Oh, it wasn't that long?
Probably no, because she was actually living with her parents at the time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, they're kind of hard to avoid.
Well, I
that
didn't
one.
realize your wife was
Yeah,
15.
yeah,
I didn't know
can't-
she
can't
was
avoid that one.
15 when you started dating. Rocky, how long before you met Terry's wife or Terry's parents? Oh, hold on. Oh, for God's sakes. Go ahead.
What are we saved by a call?
No, I have somebody. I realized I have a
You're
caller
not getting
on
off
hold.
that easy.
I have a call. Yeah, how long before you met the parents?
It was only about a year or so.
But I'm serious. There was time, right? It was a while before you met the parents. It's usually how people don't want to get into any commitment until.
Yeah, but as soon as I met Terry, I knew that he was the one, so it was just immediate.
Yeah, but did he know he was the one? Did he know you were the one?
I guess.
I
I think we met our parents around the same time.
No, but I'm saying, like, you might have known he was the one, but were you the one for him? And how long did it take to say,
Yeah, like, I don't know.
'Cause I knew
9-10 months.
my
almost a
wife.
year.
My wife, the first night I went out on a date with her, literally the first night. And I think you guys have all heard.
Oh,
this
you're
story.
talking about when did you know? I thought you meant when did you let the parents know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, first night.
So
first
you
time.
guys both knew, and you shared that.
Yeah.
You shared with each other how immense, intense the feeling was.
Yes, it was immense.
No, I'm saying
And
that.
I'm like, man, I'm keeping that one.
No, when I met my wife, I knew.
Nobody caught that. Okay.
And
I laughed.
yeah, I got it. I was just uncomfortable with it, so I let it go. No, when I'm saying that I knew the experience when I met my wife. I knew that I had something, there was something special going on there, and there was a fear of, I don't want to say that in our first date I would have married you right then. I didn't want to say that, but then eventually she felt the same way, and it came out. You know what I mean? And then you shared it. So I was just saying, how long before you actually told each other that, this is something special? And that's what I'm saying. Now,
I thought you meant told the parents. I don't even remember. It was pretty early.
I'm just trying to figure out Doran's situation, trying to help her.
Well,
Yeah,
he-
she's,
he
I mean,
wanted
going to baseball games and stuff.
He wanted me to meet his parents like really soon. Like it was only probably about a month in of dating.
Oh wow!
He's like, let's meet my folks for dinner. And
Somebody
I
was-
was like,
somebody was a
what
good
the,
lay.
what now?
Somebody must have given it up early. Let me go to the phones. There is someone waiting. on the
Okay,
phone.
go to the phones.
Good morning.
Get off this subject.
You're on the morning disaster. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Lytle.
Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, hi, Hillbilly Joe.
There we go.
How you doing,
Go
buddy?
back.
Joe, did you hear the show the other day?
No, last show I heard was 613.
613. Oh, I was wondering if you heard the show from. Was it Monday, Nick?
A while ago.
Was it Monday when his ex called in?
Well, then you dated it wrong.
It was Monday.
Yeah, that was 713.
Well, you dated it wrong because it says 613 on your website.
Well, 713 would have been the date.
Well, that's a 7, not a 6, Ray. Learn how to count. Come on, buddy. I know you can.
Well, it is. I don't date it, you jackass. It goes by the date.
Well, then it says 613.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, don't tell me. Tell the computer.
That's the last one you listened to.
Yeah, that was at 3:30 this morning.
Oh, so you just heard it.
3:30. Oof.
Yep.
Good Lord.
I'm doing it 3:30. Dare I ask?
Yeah. Had you gone to bed yet, or?
Didn't go to sleep. I stayed up all night. Well, minus a couple hours sleep, but that's it.
And then you got angry and wanted to call us.
No, I just figured I'd call in since I haven't called in since the day before the wedding and everything. And I have a couple questions for Miss Doran. Hopefully she'll answer them, and just to see how you've been doing.
Oh, it's very nice of you, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, Doran. I was wondering,
Tread
can
lightly.
you do? I was just wondering,
Do I do what?
can you make that sound?
Oh,
Yes, I can make that sound.
Are you implying?
Well, let me see. I'd like to hear you try it.
I wouldn't.
Why? Why?
Don't do
I'm
it.
walking. I know I'm walking into something. What? Why? Why do you want me to make that sound?
Well, if you're not going to make it, I'm not going to tell you why.
Okay.
Okay, and since you cut hair, would you trim my hair up?
Yes.
Tread lightly on that answer.
And I'm not talking about the one on top either.
Oh, good.
Oh dear God. No, I did. No, I
So
did not.
since you already said
landscaping.
yes,
She
I
does-
appreciate that. Now, a third thing I want to say. I feel sorry for your boyfriend
Oh,
since he's having sex with animals. I mean, having sex with a Sasquatch. I mean, seriously? Come on, man. That dude must be fucked in the head.
Now, are you going to comment about what your ex-wife said, or why, or what is the topic?
Well, Mr. Lionel, if you want me to comment on what she says, I'll comment on one thing. But any other comments, I want you to learn how to sit there and put two people on the phone.
Oh, I don't know how to put two people on the phone.
Well, learn that and get us both on the phone, and watch how quick I make her cry and hang up.
Oh, you and your ex-wife at the same time?
Oh
Yes.
wow. I don't know if that's a good idea, Ray.
Are you kidding? I would love to do it.
We can make that a secret Friday show.
I want to, here's the thing I want to bring up to Joe, and I'll say it, because I think that Joe would answer differently than his ex-wife. I was trying to get her to say something nice about him. And she would not say anything nice about him.
Oh, she would not.
And I'm like, I think Joe would say something nice about her before she would say something nice about Joe.
Well, personally, I am not. Whoever's got that animal in the background screaming, shut him up or kick him in the balls or something, man.
Goodness.
Or either that or wring its neck and fry it up for dinner.
All right. Joe.
First of all, I have no infatuation with her.
Right.
I'm not the one that's going in other people's Facebook accounts, reading messages, deleting their account out, trying to be slick, or listening to your show just to see if I'm on there to see what I say. Second of all, hey, I'm really happy. If she's happy, great. Have your life. Leave mine alone.
Like I said, I knew that you would say something nice about her before she would say anything nice about you.
Exactly. I mean, I have no problem.
She still
'Cause
holds
if
a
you,
lot of
if you notice,
Yeah.
I don't say nothing about her unless she starts snapping on me or you mentioned it.
Because she said that she didn't steal your false teeth or your ties.
And as for everything that was left in that house, you can ask everybody that was there. All that garbage was hers, not mine.
Right.
All that
What
free garbage that she
garbage
got,
are you
magazines,
Your teeth,
mats,
your
this and that, that was all hers, not mine.
That was all thrown away.
Yep, I threw every bit of it away. And yes, the landlord did get a dumpster. So I can throw it in there instead of sticking it out at the side of the road.
So you're saying you're the one that cleaned the house.
I helped clean it out. My oldest boy, Joey Burge, cleaned it out. Tommy sat there and told me he was going to come over and help clean it out. And his sister, he kept making excuses, so his sister picked him up to bring him over. His sister helped clean the house out. It went through pictures and found pictures and brought them to me.
So you're saying that you're.
Oh, and then Joseph Allen, which is Joey. Joseph, not the one that you met, Ray. Joseph Allen also had his girlfriend there that was helping. Plus, Tommy had his girlfriend there that was helping.
People are pointing out how Nick stopped listening and started reading some type of manual. He would rather read a manual than listen to anything Joe has to say.
And there goes
Well, that's
Rocky.
because he's got to
and
learn how to
Rocky-
do stuff.
And Rocky,
You know, which
literally-
he's a good boy for sitting there reading. Now, is he really reading, or is he just looking at the pictures and the colors?
and
That's
Rocky,
probably what he's really doing.
Rocky literally got up and walked
A
out
little
of
bit
the
of
room
color
rather than listen to Joe.
Well, you know, I have nothing bad to say about Rocky. You know, it's not my fault he's a zombie now and trying to come back to life, you know, but he's a good guy from what I hear. Never met him, so I can't say nothing bad about him.
People in the chat room are saying HBJ sounds really cranky this morning and very unpleasant. He needs to go away. Adam says, and now for something completely different, please. People are saying, please hang up on Joe. He's gross.
Well, you know, that's because they can't get none of this shit that's between my legs. That's why. I'm sorry,
Oh,
people. I don't go
God.
after ignorant people.
Bro,
But you're still sitting there listening,
You're saying,
so you must love this old disgusting person.
you're saying everyone wants to have sex with you? That's why.
I think that's what he's implying.
All right. Well,
Man, I'm the best in
Still
bed.
listening.
well, Joe,
I haven't had no. You know what? Don't worry, Sasquatch. One of these days you'll be bent over too, and you'll have that big old
God.
smile
No,
like the Joker
I'm
did.
quite certain I will not be bent over. I'm pretty sure.
you have a big old smile,
Never
Like-
going to happen.
like the Joker.
And I'm never
did.
shaving your undercarriage either. You can just find somebody
Well,
else.
you
to-
already admitted you would, so you know.
Thank
Don't
you,
don't go like other people and start backwalking again.
Joe.
So,
Thank you.
don't
for
worry.
being- Joe, when are you going to go through? When are you going to go through recon text?
I don't know. We have to set that up.
I want you
right,
to go
he said
through
it.
recon
Let's do
text
it.
on cam.
Well,
Because
we got to
you
set
have
it
to
up.
go through
I
recon
also-
It's
I-
probably going to have to be
before-
after the first due to the vehicle broke down.
See, I'd get you there
Well,
tomorrow.
They can come get you.
Yeah,
Didn't Derek say that he? Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
dude,
I can't tomorrow. 'Cause there's people coming to the house to inspect it.
let's do
We
it
need
next
to
week.
plan it next week.
Let's do it next
That's
week.
fine. Just you know, you just got to let me know.
All right, Joe.
Because Ray, he has to go through recon tech before
Yeah.
we allow him in my pool for the pool party.
And then Ray,
Seriously.
I want you to answer a question. You're about
Yes.
the only brightest one on this show next to me.
Oh, thank you.
Now,
Thanks for comparing me to you.
if you have a guy,
Yeah.
okay,
Uh-huh.
and there are brothers with your mom, and they have a kid,
All right.
not your mom and the brother,
Right.
but the brother has a kid. What does that make that kid to you,
Your nephew.
or me, or cousin, right?
Or wait, if you had
Okay, one more time.
if you had a what were you saying?
Okay, say my mom. You've met my mom.
Yes.
Okay,
I like
she has a brother
All right, your mom
okay.
is okay. That should be your cousin. Yeah.
from a different. Okay, so I wonder how this girl's not my cousin.
You mean the one that your wife claimed that you were having sex with?
Exactly, the same one that's supposedly not my cousin.
I don't know.
You know, because my cousin's dad is my mom's brother.
That's who you're having sex with?
That and 30 years ago,
All right. She was hot then.
and that was before we knew we were cousins.
Wait, you had sex with your cousin before you knew she was your cousin?
Yes, I was actually her first. I told you that already.
Oh, I must have missed that. So you're saying that, what your wife was saying, it's true. You did have sex with your
Technically
cousin,
true.
but you
I
didn't
said
know
that
she-
multiple times.
you didn't know she
30
was.
30 years ago,
Yeah, right.
me and her hooked up before we even knew we were family. And we had sex. And then once we found out we had sex, we stopped.
By the way,
Or
John,
not had sex, but we're cousins. Sorry.
John,
I think
uh,
kin is the word, not family. Kin.
John in the chat
Family.
room says that listening to HBJ is giving him diabetes.
Well, good. Join the crowd. I got diabetes too, so don't worry. It won't hurt you.
Sweet.
You can still drink and smoke and have sex and all that.
Right. So you had sex with your cousin, but when you had sex with her, you didn't know she was your cousin, so it wasn't wrong.
Exactly.
I'm with that. All right.
And then I'll make a quote that somebody said.
All right.
If you know their family, you shouldn't be messing around with them or touching them. Well, guess what? She did it with her sister's husband, if you remember that story.
Yeah, she
So
did.
she ain't no better.
Right.
And then
That's
she
not
even
blood
went and had
relation.
sex with my cousin.
Wait, who had sex with your cousin?
You know who?
Your sister's husband had sex with your cousin?
Her sister's husband had sex with my ex.
Oh.
So she wants to try to make me look like an idiot
Right.
and gross. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And then she had sex with my female cousin.
She doesn't have to make you look gross.
No. You know, that's true because I'm not gross.
Right.
I'm one of the most cleanest damn persons you'll ever know, and you ought to know that, Ray.
I don't know why, but yes, I should know that.
I mean, minus my
Absolutely.
taint now. That actually got worse the other
All
night.
right, thank you, Joe. All right, so you did have sex. Now it's cleared up. You did have sex with your cousin, but you didn't know she was your cousin at the time, so it's not wrong. I'll give you that.
Exactly.
All right.
If it's good enough for Elvis.
Yeah, he's right. It's good enough for
And
Joe.
then I do have a message to her from my wife. And if I need to, tomorrow I will have her call in if she will, but she gets nervous when she talks to you.
All right.
But she said if she ever brings her up again in her conversation or her son and call her stupid, she will turn the audio over to her attorney and sue her ass.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Now,
illegal.
Doran, you want to sit there and say goodbye, sweetie, and all this shit to her,
Mm-hmm.
and you're supposed to be a family woman? You should have jumped down her ass for bringing up a 4-month-old baby. What does that baby have to do with anything? Nothing.
All right. There you go. So you're mad at Doran because she wasn't mean to a caller.
Well, it's not mean. She talks about me. She was talking about me having sex with a 22-year-old who is legal, by the way, calling me names, but here somebody else is bringing up a newborn that has nothing to do with anything.
All right.
And you can't stand up for that newborn? That just makes you as stupid as they are.
Well, I'd say you're the one that brought up having sex with your cousin. You're the one that brought up having sex with your cousin. I didn't bring it up. And neither did Doran. But Joe, as always, I thank you for calling.
Well, you know, hey, what can I say? I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever be. And Nick, don't worry, the color pictures are painted by numbers. Just add the numbers. And again, Doran, I'm
rejoined back
sorry.
in at the
Your
wrong
boyfriend's
time.
sick having sex with Sasquatches. I got
There you
two
go.
words for you. Fucking raw.
Thank you, Joe. There you go. Oh, my God. I get
That
it.
was
How
Doran,
big
by the
old
way.
boy is Doran's boyfriend to sit there? I mean, does he know that this guy's calling her Sasquatch and stuff?
It's unbelievable. It really is. It is unbelievable. He admitted to having sex with his cousin, by the way. Can I
Yeah, but
point
it
out-
was okay because he didn't know.
By the way, this is Kissing Cousins. It wouldn't show up on the. There it goes.
No, I
There
see.
it
I
goes.
saw what it
Yes,
was.
it
Yeah.
was.
I brought Elvis into it.
Oh, it's great. The best part is when Nick just started reading. It looked like he was. It looked like he was reading a manual. I'm not
It was a
even.
manual. It wasn't even something like entertaining.
Yeah.
It was something that was like informational and boring, I'm sure.
Oh God.
It was
I
Food
was gonna
Network
go see
magazine.
if I could find like War and
Oh.
Peace or something and
What was it,
crack it open.
Nick? What was it?
It was Food Network magazine.
Oh,
I would
my.
I would rather look up Guy Fieri recipes than listen to that
Oh God.
drivel.
I can't blame you.
He was a trip. He was a trip. You know what?
Oh,
The one
well.
he never says anything bad about is Nikki. Nikki, he doesn't say
He's
anything
got a
bad.
thing for Nikki.
What?
He never says anything bad about you. He's got something
He's
bad
got
to
a
say
thing.
about every
I
single
stay
person.
quiet and hide.
He wants you to meet his parents.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey, by the way, I've got Nikki and Rocky both on the show right now. Rocky, are you over that Monopoly game?
Monopoly Gate.
That wasn't me
my
that
God.
was not over it.
I've got to hear this story.
was
I do
Nikki.
not know the backstory
All
on
right,
this.
here was the backstory. They were Nikki used to work. Rocky was a producer of the Morning Disaster when Nikki was an intern.
And check out these exciting hot times we used to have. Go ahead.
But I'm saying that the best
So we're
work,
playing Monopoly one night.
the best work that Nikki did was under Rocky. And I mean, I just said they had this good working relationship, and you know, Rocky would write with the different interns and stuff, and he loved writing with Nikki, and they wrote. She did some great stuff, and so I was just commenting. At one point, they stopped, and the reason was because they were playing Monopoly one night.
All right.
And Nikki got so angry at the Monopoly game because she felt Rocky and his roommate were making fun of her.
They probably
We're
were.
ganging up on her. I guess there's different levels at which to play Monopoly where you can, you know, you buy each other's or you can sell each other's properties or whatever. Some people don't play like that. We were playing on a different level.
And,
We weren't playing
Yeah,
house
and not
rules.
trading with me at all.
and the whole
We didn't have anything to trade.
the
You
whole
know, my
point of the
West
game
Baltic.
the whole point of the game is to win. But
Right.
when you play Monopoly, there's always people who end up making some type of alliances. I mean, that's just part of the game.
And someone gets screwed.
Yes, especially if you're playing
So
in,
don't play in threes.
yeah, don't play in threes. Somebody's definitely going to get screwed.
No.
And it ended up with Nikki. She turned over the board and started screaming
I did not. What?
and then stopped talking to Rocky and didn't talk to Rocky for like a year. And
Oh, are
Just
you
like-
kidding me?
yeah,
Monopoly link time.
that's what
And
ruined
stole
the
thimble and
relationship.
never gave it back.
Was a Monopoly game.
The thimble was my piece too. That and the shoe. The other ones I got rid of. And the iron.
All the boring pieces.
Well, the iron stood up; it wouldn't fall over. Same thing with the
Oh
thimble.
my God.
So, Rocky, what was going through
Anyway.
your mind when she got angry over this Monopoly game?
This is why I don't, hang around a lot of women.
Right. Because you guys were
I mean,
really,
that's what I thought at the time. I've matured since then.
but I'm saying that you guys were really close. I mean, you guys were really friends. And then Nikki said you guys didn't talk for like a year.
Well, when somebody acts that way, it freaks me out. I don't know what. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
It's just
I like people who are like, no, take things as
the whole thing's bizarre. So you ended up not talking for a year over a Monopoly game.
Yeah.
I think I ended up not talking more out of fear.
Doran, Doran, who's in the wrong? Because I definitely have my opinion. Doran, who do you think was in the wrong here?
I think it is incredible that Nikki was able to hold a grudge and not speak for like a year. But I don't
And then
know.
I'm the same way. So, I mean, you have
Right,
to.
yeah, you're very hard-headed as well. So shame on you, Rocky, for teaming up on Nikki. And Nikki, shame on you for losing your temper. So I don't know who's in
Yeah.
the wrong.
My take is it's just a fucking Monopoly game. For God's sakes. Nikki, why were
Well,
you
no,
so...
that was my take when it was happening, and that just made it worse.
Yeah,
when
wha-
somebody's upset about something, you don't tell them it's no big deal.
It's just a Monopoly game, for God's
Right.
sakes. And to hold a grudge for a year, and Nikki, you even told me that finally you just, you had said, you finally realized it was just a Monopoly game.
Yeah, and I reached out and I called him, and I think he said something about if I grew up or something over the last year.
Sounds about right.
Because you had blown up over a Monopoly game.
Right.
I think that was probably it too. I think I was making fun of her all the time for Monopoly, making Monopoly references.
I would have done that. But it's just a madness.
Did you find a place to park? Stupid stuff like that.
So it was just over a stupid Monopoly game that you guys
Yeah.
stopped talking, because your friendship was really strong at one point. I mean, you were hanging out all the time.
Like every day.
And Nikki also claimed she was never smoked pot. She said
I don't remember.
She said she would never smoke any weed.
Not back then.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that.
I never did back then.
More for me and Jim.
Yeah, there's a lot of weed smoking going on. You're saying you never.
I should have.
You never partook in any.
Maybe if I did, I went and got so mad and throw everything in free parking.
Yes. You're right.
Weed smoking. Wait till you hear about the acid trips.
I wish I would have. I wish I would have smoked. I've been offered pot so many times in my life. I wish I would have smoked it. I really do. How many
There's
times?
still time.
Yeah,
Still time.
I gotta try some. I gotta get some indica. That's my thing.
You need to get some sativa.
No, I don't want sativa. Sativa's what
you said that you needed something to help you when you work out. You don't want indica if you're working out.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
sativa is the up. I took notes when we talked about it because I got to get my mom hooked up on
Right.
this. You need the sativa.
I had sativa though. That's what I didn't like. That's the stuff I
What
had.
did you like about it? I was like,
Well, there's different strains.
I had
been
pot
years ago.
when I was like a young. We were
The
going.
stuff that they have today is nothing compared to what it was back then.
Well, you
Plus,
had
back then,
dirt weed is what you had. You didn't have
Plus,
any decent
Exactly.
When you did that, you were young and it was illegal, and you were probably nervous anyway, and that's just going to enhance that.
I was a brown kid riding in a car in Southern Illinois. You don't think I was nervous all the time?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's going to make you paranoid.
But
it's just going to enhance
But
it.
I got very paranoid and I didn't like it. And this is why I didn't smoke it, because I felt like there was something in my throat and I was choking. I was, I felt.
I don't have that anymore.
I felt like there was a snake trying to come up through my throat. It was really
Well, now
odd.
you'd be in a controlled situation. It's legal. Your 6-year-old daughter does it. So everything is like, it would be a totally different
My
thing.
daughter's 18. She's not 6.
In Rocky's mind, she.
I would not
Mine
let
too.
my 6-year-old daughter smoke weed. My daughter is 18. No, I'm saying that, yeah. And when I try some, my daughter's got, and she told me she had indica. So I do want to try some.
Well, you don't do that if you want to go work out.
No, I'm
Do
just,
that at
no,
nighttime.
before I relax, I wanted to, like, there are times when I want to relax and I can't. I'm busy doing this on Facebook, or I'm busy producing this, or I'm busy working on this website. I just can't stop. My brain is boom, 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 boom. Like last night I couldn't sleep because my brain was in overdrive. I was just working all night. I'm trying to figure out this. I'm trying to figure out, I got 18 problems and I'm trying to find a solution to all of them. So that's what I need to just relax.
The solution is indica.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. It shuts your brain off because I have the same problem. I will try to go to sleep and my brain is, I'm constantly making lists and this and what did I forget and da 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 da, and it's the same thing. So
I need to.
Yeah, you want indica for that. But yesterday you were, or the last time you were saying you wanted it to before you worked out, so that would not be indica.
Yeah.
That would be sativa.
That was sativa. So sativa before I do a workout or any kind of anything that needs, where my brain needs to be more top notch.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're just starting out, you probably want some sort of hybrid that's in the middle somewhere, because then you have nowhere to go later on because you've done 100% indica.
And I probably shouldn't have any that's going to make me hungry, because the last thing I need is to get hungry of
Have an edible. Solve that problem.
I don't need any kind of hunger.
I really didn't get the munchies that much with the new stuff, especially if I did a hybrid.
And everybody's saying that I would be hysterical or be hilarious high, as they're saying in the chat room. But maybe I'll try some one day on the show. Maybe I'll Have my
That would
da-
be fun.
maybe I'll have my daughter leave a little out, and I'll try it on the air one day. One day when I don't have a workout schedule or something, I'll I'll smoke some, right?
You don't have to smoke it. I think edibles are the way to go. Definitely.
I'd like to smoke it. Rocky, do you do edibles or smoke it or what?
Edibles and smoking are two different things because edibles is your liver, so it's two different tolerances. So sometimes for something different, but no, I just love the old-fashioned. I still play records.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Smoke.
Yeah, that would require smoking.
My daughter's
I
got.
tried that vaping stuff. I tried vaping.
Yeah.
How was it?
Because I don't vape normally. I don't do the normal vaping. So I tried the cannabis vaping, and wow, that just like hits your lungs like
hard. Yeah, vaping's hard.
I think that's what my daughter's got. It looks like a pen.
Little vaping pen.
Oh yeah.
It literally looks like an ink pen.
That's what I had.
And then she's got this little thing where, she'll use
You
that.
need to be a good dad. Roll her a joint.
I don't know.
That's some daddy-daughter bonding time.
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know
Just if
how
you
to
pass
roll
it
a
back
joint.
and forth, that's a communal. Yeah, totally.
Good morning. You're on the Morning Disaster. Hello.
Good morning, Ray. This is Rob.
Hey, Rob. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Rob.
Well, hello, everybody. If you're absolutely down to do it, I will bring you some over.
No,
because
I said my daughter's
would.
got some. My daughter's got some. I
no, we'll get you. I got some that'll.
No,
yeah,
she's got.
Yeah.
She's got.
You'll just sit there. I can make it to where you can just drool at the screen. That'd be entertainment all by itself.
I don't need. I'm saying my daughter's got medical marijuana. She's got a medical marijuana card.
Yeah.
So she has the actual. I don't know what the difference is, but I don't even know if there is any. But she's got the stuff that she bought at the dispensary here in town.
Well, I will tell you that I had a buddy who was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go over to the dispensary and I'm going to buy me some edibles. And, you do need to pay attention to what you do. And he thought, hey, we're sitting in a green light. That's smart. This guy in front of me is high, obviously. But you need to read a little bit because, and pay attention because he was like, oh, yeah, I was sitting there and I opened one of the gummies up and I just ate 2 or 3. I'm like, you ate 2 or 3 full gummies? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you're going to want to drink lots of water and not go outside for a day or so. He's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And no, man, about 2 hours later, he texted me and it was all jumbled up like he was, taking sleeping pills.
Yeah, see, that's.
And so I went over and checked on him and man, he was, yeah.
That's how
he
I
was,
am. I like.
He,
I would probably
was
go,
funny.
oh, this gummy tastes good, and I'd eat the whole package.
Yeah. No, you just, like, I have them, but I will literally, I got the little squares, and I'll just eat, like, a corner of it, and that, just so I can go to sleep. I mean, that's really all I want, is just be able to sleep better, and, it makes TV a lot more interesting, But, I mean, other than that, it's not that big a deal, man. It's really not.
Like I say, my daughter's got this little pen. It looks like a pen.
The dab pen.
And she just, it's.
Does it help her?
Oh yeah, she needs it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the only it's the only thing that makes her not hurt.
Yeah.
So,
it probably does much better than the medication she was on.
In all seriousness, my daughter, I'm not going to get into her whole thing, but she's got there's a lot of pain. Well, Rob, you probably know a little more, but she's got a lot of pain, and they've had her on, you name it, so many different drugs. And I was concerned with the amount of drug or narcotic or pain pill or whatever that they were giving her. And it was finally her doctor said, well, I'm going to give her a medical marijuana card. And it helped with the pain. And to be honest, I'm happy as a parent. I was more happy that her pain was being reduced when she was doing the marijuana, or when she started doing the marijuana, and she wasn't putting these narcotics in her body.
Yeah. Plus, she probably eats better now.
Oh, she eats a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one thing. At one point in time, I was on at least 12 different narcotic painkillers at one time for my lung. And I got off all of that, and I just have edibles, and I can't smoke it because of my lung, because, I probably could, but I cough a lot. But, I have cookies, I have brownies, I have Jellos, I have all kinds of stuff.
I would love the taste of the cookies or brown. I would eat the whole thing.
Well,
I
could whip you some up.
No, but
I'm not gonna lie to nobody.
I'm saying,
I don't care if it goes out on the internet. I make it at home. I don't care.
No, that's what I'm saying is, you can make me regular brownies or cookies. That's fine. Don't put pot in it. I'll eat the whole thing because I get addicted to the sugar, and then I'll have too much pot.
Well, see, and that's the thing though, is you don't want to sit there and go, look, a plate of cookies and eat them all. You don't.
Just want to smoke it, which is why one show I'll come in. And I will, I'll either borrow my daughter's pen or next time she goes to the dispensary, I'll have her buy I don't know what you buy, but I'll
with a hybrid.
I'll roll some up and smoke it on the air.
I will pay extra advertising dollars just to sit next to you during that.
Rob,
I will.
You'll pay extra.
I will up my advertising fee just for that day. Just to watch it. I really will. Just to sit next to you, just to go, here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Just to watch him. Just to color commentary.
The day that I do the pot,
I will
this pot smoking
absolutely be
is
there.
brought to you by DGE Technologies.
That's right. Watch Ray get high. I would pay for that. So yeah, but it's my son takes it.
I don't know how
my son got ADHD really bad, and it helps him tremendously. So,
I know it helps my daughter's pain. That's what I know, and I know it has for a while. And she's 18 now, so I'm not sure. I don't know how.
I've been researching it so much and taking those classes and getting certified and all that stuff over the last couple of months, and it's just like story after story after story after people who are on multiple medications, 15, 18, 20, whatever.
Yeah.
They discover marijuana, and they're down to like maybe marijuana and a couple of medications or one or two or whatever.
My daughter was bedridden, could not walk, was in so much pain with her condition. And then started regularly going to the med dispensary. And she finally found whatever. I mean, there's different mixes or whatever. Like Rocky was saying, different. They decide they're going to mix this with this or whatever. They finally found the right thing that worked for her, and she's been taking that. Now, she's living her life. She's up. She's got a vehicle. She drives. She walks. She's living a normal life right now.
And if you look at it, the costs are dramatically cheaper as well.
Yeah, the cost.
There's a big worry actually within the cannabis industry about what big pharma is going to do about this, because people are just like, we don't need this anymore.
I know the different pills. I know how expensive the narcotics were. It cost a lot. It cost a lot per pill to get her these things that are highly addictive. Like my daughter was 16, and she was taking these pills that I wouldn't know what they were, but then I'd hear them on the news with a crackdown of people who had illegal blah blah blah, and I'm like, that's the same pill that she takes.
Yeah.
And
I know my mom is on something right now that the doctor just upped it from something else that was also a narcotic. They upped it again, and it's the same thing that I know that what you're talking about. I've known 2 people in the past 9 months that have overdosed on it. And you're going to give that to my mother?
That's what they were giving to my daughter, and finally, and now the marijuana, the cannabis, she's so much better. She's pain free, and it's just a lot. It's so much better.
Well, that's where a lot of these opioid addictions are coming from too. It's not people like you used to see on the cop shows or whatever. It's everyday people who had some accident or something, went to the hospital, got all of this pain medication, got addicted to it, couldn't get it refilled, got an addiction now.
Yeah.
Got to go.
Then they're buying
down the street or
they're
whatever.
buying their illegal narcotics from from whoever down in the corner, and doing God knows what to find a way to pay for them. So
Like I said, at one time I was taking at least 12 medications, with not only OxyContin, I was taking Vicodin, methadone, all those things, fentanyl. I'd taken that before. Those are, I'm so glad that I got rid of all that stuff. Absolutely.
And you're saying it's the cannabis, it's the cannabis that's helped with everything. So.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I will. Maybe I'm going to try to smoke. I'll try to smoke some one day.
I bet your knees would feel better too. I bet they really would. I'm not saying that just because you'd be high, because you will. You'll first couple times you'll be high off your ass. But I think your knees eventually would feel better.
It would be. I'll tell you what. It would be really nice. It would be really nice if it helped with my knees. It would be. Be able to walk easier would be nice. All right.
Yep.
You guys are
all right, buddy. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, Rob.
Have a good day, Rob.
Rob is DTE Technologies, 408-0001. That's 408-0001. I just, I will figure out. I'll try some. I'll have my daughter, I'll say, leave me your pot pen or whatever the hell it's called with some indica in it. And Rocky, you could sort of let me know how much I should take. 'Cause I have no idea how much I should take. Do you smoke the whole pen, or I don't know?
Yeah, just you smoke a little bit, and then you wait, and then you smoke some more.
I'm gonna do it one morning. I wish Bubba was in, because Bubba's a big pothead. I think Bubba listens to us. I think he smokes weed, and then listens to us, and then. He says
it's pretty obvious anybody listening to us is high on something.
He has said that he'll smoke indica and eat Twinkies and listen to the show, and I think that I don't know if he's joking or if he's serious, but I kind of think he's serious. And he says that that's just how he spends his mornings. So I'd like to, when he joins us, when he gets up, he probably smoked last night. He's still sleeping. I'd like to find out how that works. But we should do it. We should. I should do it when, like, if Nick can take over the board or something from. I don't even know how. I don't even know, because God forbid, what if I, I'm sure I will. I'll keep my head, but what if I, fall asleep? I'm just not gonna fall asleep here, right? I mean, that's probably not gonna happen. But I do want to try some. When I've tried it, and I've been saying forever I'm going to get some, and I just, I haven't. But I will. Since Rocky's read up on
shit or get on the pot.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely try some. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Terry made a book. He took the O.J. Simpson book, If I Did It, and he put Sean Belin's photo on it.
Oh, it's perfect.
And by the way, that whole deal got blown up. That whole thing was blown up. And Sean Belin didn't even call me. There was not even so much as a phone call to apologize or anything.
I think we heard the whole phone call, didn't we?
Yeah, he was on for a while. He was I'm just saying he was pretty apologetic, because he realized what and there's stuff that we kept off the air too that we realized happened, but yeah. Sean was fairly apologetic, but I thought he would have called me to say, "Hey man, I just want to let you know." And no phone call.
24 hours later, I'm still sorry.
Yeah. I'll have to
Which
tell.
does sound like something he would do.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you about it sometime.
If he says he's sorry, then that's him admitting that he did it.
Well, no, he did admit that he did it. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. And the deal was basically put into a garbage can, and then there was they took the charcoal starter. They took
the lighter fluid.
Yeah, they took 18. Yeah. They took 18 cans of that and poured it into the garbage can.
Oh.
And then then they lit a match, and they were holding the match over it, and they were gonna dropped the match. They said, oh, wait a minute. I want to make sure this fucker blows up. And so they went and got 3 gallons of gas from the Circle K. And they brought it over, and they poured the gas in. And they said, oh, this should just about do it. And then
that'll do it.
They lit the
That
match.
would do it.
They lit the match, and they held the match over the can. They went, whoa, wait a minute. Grab any help whatsoever of rekindling this deal and throw that into the barrel. And then they said, oh, let's insult him. Let's insult it. So let's take Ray's feelings and we're going to throw those into the fucking barrel. And then they lit the match and they finally dropped it into the barrel and there was a huge explosion and everything blew up.
Plot twist, it couldn't have been Sean because he would have dropped it in and it would have just sat there.
But
The match would have fizzled.
So the whole thing blew up.
it was drowned in the.
He somehow found
True.
inflammable gasoline to use or something.
Yeah. And then Sean then it was on fire, and Sean was like, oh, I got to put that fire out. Here, does anybody have any more of that lighter fluid? Let me try to pour that on it. And she tried to put it out with some charcoal fluid, and it didn't put it out. It just made it burn higher. So that's
And then
what
got some hot dogs and roasted them.
Yeah. And then he said, well, as long as we
rolled
got
the rest up in parchment paper,
he said,
threw it up in the air, it sparked, he did a twirl and danced away.
he said,
Yeah, that sounds like Sean.
but as long as there's a fire, does anybody have any graham crackers and marshmallows and
You're right.
a Hershey bar?
Chocolate.
Unbelievable.
You know what? We don't even need the graham crackers, just the chocolate. Give me a thing of chocolate.
Does anyone have a
Hold
Hershey
it over
bar?
the fire.
Yeah, so that fucking deal got exploded. I mean, exploded.
No.
And it was
Damn
such
it.
a good time.
And then while they were doing it, oh, hold on. You know what this thing needs? We need to insult Ray as well. Let's go ahead and make sure we insult
This is
him.
insulting.
So they made sure to throw some good insulting in there. Oh well, that's just what happened.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean. As always, it's so good having Sean Balint on my side. I really,
It's just like calamity. He's just a mess.
yeah.
He's just a mess.
And then as he goes, I just don't know. I just don't know how. I don't know how anyone would have found this out. And I go, well, somebody must have told someone. He goes, oh, well, I only told, and he gives me like 8 people that he told.
Oh, for God's sake.
And I'm like, why would you?
Oh my God.
And
The one that you told me
Wow.
about was bad enough.
yeah, I
I
mean,
thought it was just one.
it was my fault. I should.
You should have known better.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is wrong with me? Why would I let him? Why would I in hindsight, there was no reason he should have known. If he had any problem with it, then he could have just not been part of it because he's such a small part of the show. But I was the dumbass who said, well, let's include Sean. So in essence, it's my fault. It was my fault.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah. I never even got a chance to tell you. No, you and Doran.
I'm in the dark.
And you know what?
Phil?
You probably.
I have an idea.
I probably want to
I
keep
think
you.
I've kind of figured it out.
I want to keep you
But-
guys in the dark because it'll just piss you off. It will just piss you off.
Good old Sean.
Yeah.
I do know the person he told, though, that you told me he told.
Oh yeah, I think that because I think that's the one person that he showed, that he told. I think that's the one who And I don't think that person was doing anything malicious. But
He just doesn't know any better. It's like telling a 4-year-old.
Yeah. But I think that
I
person.
just watched all of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to see that show. You can just see a big photo of the whole cast. And there's somebody that would kind of stand out probably about, you know what, I probably wouldn't tell that cast member or that character a secret.
Yeah.
That's our Sean.
Yeah.
Well, because he told him, and that person, and he's like, oh, I got to make my own deal. And that's that. I think that's what happened. I'm just guessing now. But
The Ray Lionel Show and the Sean Millett subsidiary.
I think someone decided, since I was getting this deal, and by the way, it wasn't me, it was we were getting the deal. They decided that they needed to make their own deal. So they got involved. That's what blew the whole thing up. So.
Oh, well.
That's what I think.
Maybe something better will come along.
And
maybe there's a reason for everything.
I told my wife.
And if there is something else comes along, Ray, don't tell Sean.
I told my wife after it all blew up yesterday. I told my wife, and what do you think she said?
Told you so.
Yeah. She goes, well, I hate to say it, but I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, honey, I predicted this. She goes,
again.
She goes, she said, who's the one person that I suggested you not tell?
Mm-hmm.
Sean. I said, yeah. And she goes, please stop telling him things. And I go, I will, I promise. And she goes,
why should I listen to Deidre? She's never been right before.
Yeah. She's my wife. I can't think of any instance where she's been wrong. Literally, especially about this in our whole married life.
She doesn't have special ability. She's just very, very smart, and she knows you.
I'll tell you, our whole marriage, there have been people that I have worked with that she has said, yeah, I don't trust the guy. You shouldn't really trust that guy. And I go, oh, yeah, I'm fine. And they always end up, Ray was just stabbed in the back. What happened? And this person is standing there with a bloody knife, going, I don't know what happened. And I'm just saying that she's never been wrong. Never. Yeah. So.
Gotta love her.
Oh, well. One of these days I'll learn.
No, you won't.
One of these days.
No, you won't.
I gotta start listening to that woman.
Oh,
I should know she's brilliant. She married me, right? I mean.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean,
right.
I should start thinking like along those lines of she's smart. She married you. You know, it's because I am I have a problem determining my own worth that I, don't trust her or that I don't take her word the way I should. She's only looking out for my best interest. Rocky, how many times in the old disaster days would you see me either getting a relationship or doing something, and you would say, oh, that he shouldn't trust that guy?
Usually it was like work type stuff.
Yeah, like how many program directors did I go, oh, this one has our back? Did you think, no, he doesn't?
Yeah, I got known as a cynic. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Yeah. I could think of several instances. Dorn, you've known me for a long time.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen me working in some kind of arrangement or a deal with someone, and you say, oh, Ray should not trust that guy? Or Ray should not trust that person.
I can think of 2 instances
right
off the top of my head. And you gotta go with your gut feeling. Don't go with like, the visual and what you hear and everything, what you feel in your gut. You gotta listen to that.
I see.
That's what your wife's gut feeling.
I see my buddy Petey.
Yeah, go with your wife's gut feeling.
My buddy Petey, Petey is in the chat room. Petey's been my friend for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, how many times, Pete, answer this in the chat room. How many times have you, because I've known him this whole time, how many times have you seen me start talking to someone or start trusting someone and you're saying, oh, he should not trust that guy? And it ended up with me having a knife in my back or being blamed for something or being fired for something or having some deal just fall through. And you just think to yourself, oh, I should have said something. Please let me know. Because that's sort of how it goes for me. If anything, I'm very, I don't know if I'm too trusting or what, or maybe I'm too.
I don't know. You just put faith where it doesn't be. It's not deserved. I think you it's kind of like what I do with people is I kind of like, well, I would never do that to somebody, or I would. So I just assume that other people are like that, and that's never the case. It's never the case.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is I'm too trusting. I gotta stop that.
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Yeah.
Lesson learned again.
I'm an egg counter. I count the chickens before the eggs or whatever.
Sure, that's not how that
One of the yeah, I don't know. I know I fucked that up. One of these days I've got to start taking smart people's opinion in consideration.
Yeah. According to the weather, it does not look like we are going to have any baseball tonight. We're supposed to have a baseball game tonight. It's going to get nasty here shortly.
So it's not a hot. You're saying this is not a super hot day. This is going to be a wet one.
Yeah, it looks like we got 40% chance of showers coming in. Temperatures are going to drop or stay in the 70s, but yeah, it's going to get ugly. Said look forward to maybe some tornadoes. Exactly.
Tornadoes. What?
It was gorgeous this morning. Yeah, it was gorgeous out this morning. Only in like the low 70s, but once these storms come through, then we're going to be in a sauna for the weekend. So, but yeah, baseball's not looking good for tonight. So that's a bummer. Bummer.
Well, that sucks. So they're how are they saying tornadoes? Are they saying conditions?
Just because if the probability is right, all the conditions are right for tornadoes. Because the colder air is coming in, it's warm, and that causes tornadoes. It's just how that works.
I'll be damned.
This weekend is going to be an absolute scorcher. We're supposed to have a tournament this weekend.
I like the days when it's 90 some odd degrees.
You like them?
Yeah, I saw somebody on Facebook that lives down south or southwest, and they were bitching. They're going, "Oh my God, it could hit 100 degrees today," and I was thinking, that sounds fantastic.
Shout out to people who work on roofs and roofers, because I had those people working on my roof for like Monday and part of Tuesday. I went up there to check it out for like 10 seconds. That was enough for me. I don't know how they. Seriously, I don't know how they did it. I mean, I know that they do it all the time or whatever, but
you went up on the roof.
You get used to it, but no.
Yeah, for like 10 seconds just to see it, you know. And it was like I couldn't. It was too hot. And these guys were up there literally from like 5:30 a.m. until like 9 o'clock one Monday.
A lot of those guys have their shirts off.
I don't know. I was in the house. I left them alone.
I'm just saying when you were climbing up on the roof, or any of them up, you know, that's all I'm saying.
No, I waited until they were done.
Oh, okay.
Took it out after they were already gone. I'm saying I was up there for like 5 seconds. I'm like,
it's hot. No, a roof gets. I can tell you, a roof gets really
these guys
hot.
were up there for hours. It was like, wow. I don't get that.
Good morning. You're on the Morning
Hats off
Disaster.
the roofers.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Ray. Radio Sean Gotti here.
Hi, Sean.
I hear you have a position open. Is that true?
No, there's no position open. I'm not letting anyone else.
I just submit my my resume to you at the web address Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster .SeanBalenta.don't tell Sean shit @gmail.com.
Yeah, that's the email address. That's the correct one. Yeah.
Well, if you change your mind,
Nick's
by
right.
all
It's
means,
a .org.
let me know.
Thank you.
This is Radio Sean Gotti signing off.
Thank you. Yeah, it gets hot. It gets hot on that roof, man. Those guys. But a lot of those guys, they just put up a roof, and literally the second the day ends, then it's up to the bar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would hope.
And then
at least
then you're at the bar till you can't drive anymore.
Off to an ice bath.
Yeah, and then
I would
then
probably
no,
do.
then they go home, and they just they don't even. I mean, they just hit the bed. They don't even. There's not even time to eat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they go to the bar, get drunk, go home, and hit their wife or something.
No.
they hit the bed.
No, I'm just saying that the guys who put on and no offense to them, but the guy that roofing's a hard job. I mean, you make a lot of money an hour, but it's literally 100 and some odd degrees out there in the heat.
I really don't know how they did it. I really don't.
They scrape everything off, then they put all the shingles, then they put brand new ones up. They pound everything in. Then they get
all of this going on with this black tar.
Yeah.
Basically, just soaking up heat. You're on a roof. You're closer to the sun.
Yeah.
There's no tree. I mean, there's no shade.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, that's why those guys
Incredible.
have the best hands. They have the best. They have the best.
Somebody started doing the. I was talking about all that pounding and hammering and all that noise. It went on for hours and hours. Around 6:30, somebody. The only annoying part was somebody started doing the shave and a haircut rhythm. Over and over for like 90 minutes. This. I don't know who the new guy came in and was doing that or what. It's like, okay, dude.
That's what you thought about.
That's how those new nail guns work.
Right. Set on barbershop mode.
Where was the hubby when these roofers were working on the house?
Where's what?
Where was the hubby when the roofers were working on the house?
He still has a job.
I'm just saying. So he wasn't home.
No.
That's all I'm saying. You're saying you're going up on the roof.
After they had
I
gone to
didn't know
check out the job they did.
If you were going up with some
Not
lemonade.
to give a job,
I don't
to
know.
check out the job.
I didn't know if you were going up on the roof with a thing of lemonade, going, "Oh, here, guys. I don't want you guys to get dehydrated."
I'm sure that did not happen.
I'm just wondering what was going on.
No, I actually had all the curtains closed. They probably thought nobody was home because I just didn't want to bother anybody. And they were just noise all over the.
So they probably think you're a hermit.
Right.
Well, at least you said the whole thing.
Everything that the guy asked, he just sent a text. I just sent a text back.
They literally
Like,
they got it done
anybody.
They got it done in 2 days. That's pretty good.
But the roofing, I think that a lot of them are doing this anyway with the whole social distancing thing. They don't want a lot of,
Interaction.
contact or whatever.
If you know any roofers, it's not the best personalities. It's I mean, nothing against roofers, but I'm saying they're not. A lot of them aren't social butterflies. At least you got it up.
Yeah.
All right, I
Unemployed
have
with
to
a new
go.
roof.
All right, Doran.
Congrats on the new
Hey,
roof. Okay. I'll
Don't
see you guys
forget
tomorrow.
your curlers.
I won't. I guess
Somebody might need them.
All right, bye guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I gotta go to Iron Infusion Day.
Is this today? Are you getting your Rocky?
It's the last one.
Rocky, have you heard about Nikki's transplant that she gets on
Oh, Lord.
Wednesday?
It's an iron infusion, Ray.
Whatever. I know how. I'm just saying. I know how they get the iron in.
Goodbye.
All right. See you later.
On a board.
She gets really angry when I suggest that.
Because of an ironing board.
I suggested they take the poop of a healthy person and they put it in her colon, and she gets very angry.
I think there's an Urban Dictionary term for that. I don't remember what it is though.
And then Nick, goes on the Morning Disaster page. I'm having the day from hell yesterday, literally.
Did I do something bad? I didn't mean to do something bad.
Yes, I'm having the day from hell. That whole deal fell apart. Like I said, I was insulted. It just blew up. I can't even go into how bad it was. And then I get Nikki yelling at me. And I'm like, I have no idea. What in the hell is she talking about? She's like, take it down now. And I'm like, what are you talking? What in that? I literally had no idea what she was talking about. Because I love Nikki. She's very entertaining, as you guys know, who listen to the show. But there's one thing we don't talk about a lot. As entertaining and funny and engaging as she is, she's also crazy. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard, but she once didn't talk to someone for a year because of a Monopoly game.
Right.
So there was a take it down now. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about.
And when you've got an excuse to escape crazy, you take it.
And so
you're like, you damn right. I should have won that Monopoly game, and we shouldn't just even talk about it anymore for a whole year.
So then I'm like, I don't even know what the hell. I've had a really shitty day. I don't know what you're talking about, whatever. And she goes, it must have been Nick, have him take it down. So I went and checked, just try to figure out what she's talking about. Nick put a picture up of a worm.
It was a news article.
Yeah. I didn't have any problem with it. I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was a good chuckle.
And the whole thing was this person in the news story that you put up. It's from like a St. Louis TV station or something, wasn't it? The article was about this worm that had gotten in this woman's. It had gotten under the skin in her throat, and it right. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, it was timely. It was topical.
Yeah. And so I read it and I go, well, this is great. This is exactly what this is exactly right. So I'm not saying you're wrong, Nick. I'm saying,
okay.
Because when I read the article, the first thing I thought of is, oh, that's what happened to Nikki. And but this thing from her was like, take it down now. And I'm like, oh my God, is this worm going in a vagina or what? What's got her so angry? But there was the article was about this worm got into a throat, and all I kept thinking of, that's what happened to Nikki. Am I crazy for thinking that? Because I thought
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's
this
why
is
I
what
posted it.
Because she said she had a weird lump in her throat, and she was having trouble swallowing, and so the doctor said, we got to figure out we'll take that out in so many months. And so she went to go have the biopsy to take the mass out. Okay. And she said this, when they went to take the mass out, it was gone. And that article, the mass was caused by the worm. So I was like, it could be. All I kept thinking was, they should check to see if that's what happened to her.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I don't think it was. I think that I think she somehow took it wrong, or didn't read the article. Because all I thought of when I read the article was, holy shit! I wonder if that's what happened to her. Am I wrong?
No.
Because her take was, take it down now. And I didn't understand it. I had no idea. I literally had no idea why she was mad. But that's what it was. So then I just went over there and just deleted it. So, Nick, I thought you did good. I thought it was funny. But I don't think that Nikki got it and was angry or something. But then again, like I said, she did not talk to someone over a Monopoly game. So I'd rather
Right.
I'd rather not go through all that. So we just took it down. But I thought it was. I think they should look into it. By the way, we are now in pandemic day number. I don't know how long it's been going on. Since the middle of March, it seems. And it's now July.
Are people still saying silly things like when we get back to normal?
Yes.
It's until we have a herd immunity. And by the way, can I point out what a herd immunity is? A herd immunity is when you have so many people who have either gotten the disease or gotten a vaccination. That's what creates a herd immunity.
I think people have to start seeing more death numbers. I think that's the thing, is people keep seeing these many people are diagnosed with it, this many people have it, but they're not seeing anybody actually pass away from it. They don't know anybody personally, so then it doesn't exist in their world.
I have, in their 40-year-olds, my niece's, the father of my niece's baby, 42 years old, in shape. He was a bouncer for a living. Caught it and died. My brother-in-law, 44 years old, has COVID right now. He's had it. It feels like it's been at least a month, but I don't know if it's been that long. But my brother-in-law's had it for a while, and he's in Texas. I can name right now 2 people off the top of my head who have had it. And you're right.
I thought this is going way back, but I thought Joe Diffie would.
He died of it.
Wake some people up or whatever. Country star, but
he died.
He didn't really do anything.
No, they didn't care. You're right. There are people out there that think. There are people out there that just they think it's fake. Adam's in the chat room saying his uncle died from it. Yeah, it's people just somehow think that it's bullshit. And it's not. You got the actual disease is real, and the death is real. If you don't think that in Florida and Texas and Arizona, if you don't think the deaths are coming, I got news for you. They are happening every day. Now because we've had so many people that have had this disease, there's now been, it's in the millions. And once it took forever to hit 1 million. Once it hit 1 million, it was like 2 million a week later, and now it's in the 3 millions right now. They have figured out how to, this is the people that have it, but as the deaths started hitting the 100,000 and the 200,000, whatever, then they start figuring out how to treat it better. You know what I mean? Like they have remdesivir, I think, is one of the things that they use that is not working, and they have different treatments that they have found that are working. So that's the only thing keeping, and thank God we've done that. That's the only thing keeping the death level down. But the deaths are coming in Florida and Texas and stuff. And what are we going to say then when people start actually dying?
They'll think of something.
I don't get it. And now
I heard this one in Dollar General about the kids going back to school. Are you ready for this one? A woman said that the COVID is we're at war with COVID-19. And in any war over history, anytime, parents have been expected to sacrifice their children for the war.
Oh, fuck that guy.
And so why do parents today, this is the wrap up, why do parents today think they're so special?
Oh my God.
This was literally a live woman saying this in a store.
And, listen, can I be honest?
After I just unfollowed everybody on Facebook.
Why in the fuck? Why would this president want to run for re-election and force a bunch of children to go to school? If one fucking kid dies, and this is in all seriousness, if one kid dies due to COVID while he's running for re-election as a president, he's done. I mean, why would you want
I don't know.
Why would you want to risk it, right? It sounds.
It better actually be somebody with a Facebook group owner's kid than because if it's just some random kid, they'll make an excuse. They'll just say it wasn't COVID. They'll say it's fake news.
Because
fake news wasn't COVID.
Even the CDC has said, well, there are some communities that have.
Well, we shut them off.
That have done a good.
We shut them off 2 days ago, didn't we?
They've done a good job. Those kids can go back to school, but they're saying there are some areas and hotspots. There's no way in hell kids should go back to school. And I'm thinking, my God, if one kid dies while you're running for re-election, that would kill the guy's chances. You think that alone would make him?
No, he's got a cult.
It's just, dude, it's crazy.
They'll just say it's fake news. It wasn't COVID.
This guy keep up the charade.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I can understand
Yeah,
why.
I thought I'd pass that along. It's your duty as a parent to sacrifice your child to the war of COVID-19.
That's insane. I would listen. I'm not even expecting my child to go to college.
I would have, if I would have wanted to engage, I would have explained to this woman, well, even what you're saying is true. Those were kids that were over the age of 18. Yeah. Not 7-year-olds.
My daughter, I'm not expecting her. I'm either expecting her to take a year off or go to a college where she can learn online for a semester or two until this stuff is cleared up. Now, the good news is, I do think they're getting closer to a vaccine. I know I want to say there are 7 different companies. All these pharmaceutical companies are trying to make the vaccine because they see how much money they can get. Think about it. If you're the pharmaceutical company that creates the vaccine, shit, how much money are you gonna make?
Write your own check.
Holy shit. So think about it. So I'm convinced they'll get one. And I think they're going to get one this year. I think the vaccine might actually beat the Portillos. That's going up.
I'm trying to enter the cannabis industry. I'm hoping that that's just another thing marijuana will cure, and I'll be right on the front of that.
It'll be right when you're
a millionaire.
It'll be right when you're getting in. Yeah. So
right.
I'm telling you, I'm convinced they will get a vaccine. And so then, of course, when we can start getting the injection of vaccine, and you have so many people that have already had it, I think that's how you will create the herd immunity that we hear so much about. But people, it's real, and we got to stop this bullshit of, oh, this is fake and this is just this is just contrived, or it's some type of liberal conspiracy. We got to stop that. Wear a fucking mask.
Yes, those Democrats in Brazil
Mm-hmm.
are making this a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
Have teamed up with the Democrats in Italy.
I'm telling you, people, it's just insane. And now they're to the point of they love this president so much. Well, we all have to sacrifice children in a time of war. I mean, that's fucking insane. No,
that was
we
too
don't.
insane for Facebook. I had to see that one live.
For heaven's sakes. That's fucking
anything
crazy.
to sound tough. It always goes back to the same thing. I want to sound tough. Yeah, we'll sacrifice kids. Yeah.
I'm not.
You gotta do that.
I will not sacrifice my child.
Don't sacrifice me, but yeah, the kids. That's fine.
To this imaginary war. This is a virus that you can.
I'm not saying that there aren't plenty of people taking advantage.
Oh yeah.
Of the pandemic and the situation, companies and people and opportunists and whatever that are, but that doesn't mean that the threat's not real just because there's people out there going overboard to profit off of it.
And this is a shitty disease that could have been prevented if they didn't allow these places like the one they have in China to exist, where they were selling the pangolin or whatever that somebody, because wasn't it the pangolin ate the bat or something, and then that's what started it. And it's just Maybe if they would have, and I do agree with that China should watch these things. You know what I mean? Don't allow these places to exist. They've got to find a way to, to stop that. And from what I understand, they didn't. I think the market that they got it from is open again, if I'm not mistaken.
How proud as a country would we be right now if this whole thing would have been handled differently? Everybody would have pitched in, said, we're Americans, we're all together in this.
Yes.
This is above political lines. This is a disease. Everybody's going to do this. We're all going to do
I'm going to wear a mask.
Safe. And now we're number one for like the lowest amount or whatever, or we've got the lowest amount. Imagine how proud we could be as a country if that was.
You mean if we acted like Vietnam or Japan
or even September 11th
or South Korea,
September 11th, more recent.
These countries, they didn't start as soon as they were told to wear a mask. They weren't going to Facebook and going, "Oh, we're going to wear a mask and they're going to put chips in all of us with a vaccine and Bill Gates is out to get it."
I am drawing a line at the chips. I'll say that right now.
But
I've seen that.
Bill Gates is going to,
whatever that movie there was.
Bill Gates is going to give us all a vaccine and put chips in us. If Bill Gates already has chips, it's called fucking computers.
Haven't you heard the one where the mask is just a prelude to everybody becoming Muslim?
Oh, for God's sake.
Because of the head, the headdress or whatever.
They need to stop that. If they would have done what they did in those countries I mentioned, and they said, "Oh, this is a disease that could kill some of us. It's not going to kill all of us, but it could kill some of us. So I'm going to wear a mask." We could have killed New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam. They put the fucking mask on. They stayed home. They did their little quarantine for like a month. And then they got tested. And they put on a mask when they started going out again. There are 0 cases in New Zealand. The disease has disappeared from New Zealand. In Vietnam, the disease has disappeared. In South Korea, it's still around, but it's very, very rare. In Japan.
Well, some of those places, too, from what I understand, they don't put up with the "I'm not wearing a mask" stuff. That don't fly.
No. They knock the shit out of you. When you say "I'm not wearing a mask," they just knock the shit out of you. And by the way,
you don't get Tyson from Costco taking your card away.
Vietnam.
That's only in America.
Vietnam borders China. They have 0 cases. It's unbelievable. In Japan, they're playing baseball again with fans in the stand. They're living life normally without a mask now. Except for the ones that, if you have any kind of compromised immunity or you're a little older, maybe you're wearing a mask. And they got rid of it. But here in the United States, God forbid.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Something did remind me of something from a long time ago, my childhood. Remember when people were cutting seatbelts out of cars?
Something about their freedom, yeah.
When they passed the seatbelt law, people were like, "I'm not wearing a seatbelt." They would cut the seatbelt out of the car. So this stuff's been going on. It was just never on the internet before, and it was didn't gain traction like it gains now.
By the way, the director of the CDC, Robert Redfield, who, if I'm not mistaken, just a few months ago,
Butch Cassidy?
Trump was saying just a few minutes, Robert Redfield, he's a brilliant guy. He's over at the CDC. You should listen to him, blah, blah. That was back when we were supposed to be listening to them. He goes, America could end this pandemic in 4 to 6 weeks if everybody would just wear a fucking mask. Now, he didn't say that. I'm the one who added fucking. I paraphrased.
That would have got some attention. Maybe that's what it needed.
But he said, if we would just go 4 to 6 weeks.
Like I said, it's all about being a badass. Maybe if somebody from the CDC would stand up and say, "Hey, dumbass, wear a fucking mask." then that would get some respect.
He said that this disease would be gone if we just wore face coverings for the next 4 weeks. Now, we're going to have to wait until they actually figure out, because the deal with the vaccine, I guess there's companies that have already made it and they're just doing the testing. But it's still going to take a while because they're not going to let you put a vaccine in without proper testing. They've just got to get through it, and then people could be taking vaccine as early as November. Maybe December.
Wow, November. Remember when we were talking about things are going to start opening up around June, and we could still have that Motley Crue concert and
that ain't going to happen.
And all that kind of. Now we're talking November.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it just sucks. There's a woman who is demonstrating the right way to wear a face mask by comparing it to her bra. Let's see what she has to say.
How you like that?
She's taking. Oh yeah. She's comparing the mask. I had to turn the volume down, so I thought I was gonna blow the speakers out. She's comparing the mask to her bra by showing how you have to put your nose in your mask. Because a lot of people are leaving their nose hanging out of the top.
I think people know that, though. I just think they're choosing not to.
They just don't care.
Who doesn't know how to wear? I mean, come on.
It's unbelievable.
You've either seen ER or you've seen St. Elsewhere or you've seen Chicago Hope. Everybody knows how the mask goes on.
The president of Brazil, who denied that COVID exists, who has now caught it. He denied COVID exists, said it was a hoax. Now he's got COVID.
I've seen those stories on Facebook about everyday people that are like that. They'll go pull their past posts or something,
Oh,
then
yeah.
post their obituary.
And
I
then
wonder
they
if those are
die.
real.
Yeah. No, those are real. This guy, this Bolsonaro, he said it was a hoax. Then he caught it. Now he's being
Oh,
quarantined.
well, yeah, a public figure like that, you'd have to.
Now
yeah,
he's being
you'd have to
quarantined at home. He got sick of being inside. He told his people he was sick of being inside, so he went outside to feed an emu. And the emu bit him.
Wow.
Chuck Woolery, which is Nick's favorite game show host, by the way.
Not anymore.
Oh, Chuck Woolery.
I threw all my VHS copies of Love Connection away.
After he literally put a tweet up 2 days ago saying it was all a hoax.
Unbelievable.
It was a hoax. It's not real. He was blaming the leftist. Somehow it's a leftist created hoax. I'm a Democrat, but I wasn't in on the meeting where we decided to create a fake disease.
Those were those Italian Democrats that did that. They worked with the Hong Kong
Yeah.
Democrats.
And then
That's something I'm so tired of, too. If you're a celebrity from my childhood, just shut up.
yeah,
I'm so tired of being disappointed.
he goes
by people
out.
I grew up watching on TV. Chuck Woolery, I thought that dude was semi-cool.
He spouts all these
sarcastic
ridiculous
kind of
theories.
way.
His son, now has COVID.
Right.
And now he's changing his tune.
Yeah. Now that he admits now that it is real.
Rick Derringer, some conspiracy theorist about the Mr. Rock'n'Roll Hoochie Coo.
He's
I'm so
alive.
tired of being disappointed.
Mr. I am a real American. Didn't he write the Hulk Hogan song?
I think he did.
Yeah. And by the way, just what we want, what we don't need during the pandemic is a bunch of people lined up to get shit. I just want to point out that Krispy Kreme's is giving away free donuts on Friday. They're giving away free donuts. So if you want to get COVID,
I love these little like tiny little gestures. Like, hey, it's the end of the world. Get free donuts on Tuesday.
if you want
Free
COVID,
donuts on Wednesday.
Here's some fried dough.
Hey,
Yeah.
a free car wash for the first 50 people.
If you want COVID and 12 donuts, you can get it from Krispy Kreme this Friday, everybody.
In Springfield, do they still have the Krispy Kreme billboard right under the Fit Club billboard like they used to on 6th Street?
No, I don't see a Krispy Kreme. You know, I was on that billboard on 6th Street for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I'm off. This is my luck. This is really my luck. They put a billboard. This is probably the best billboard up. They put a billboard up saying I lost 106 pounds. I actually looked kind of good on the billboard. I was working out. You could see that my shoulders and my arms are getting some tone, you know. I look badass. I mean, they put billboards up where I look all fat and I'm wearing like stockings. I just look ridiculous. Those billboards stay up forever. Mine goes up. Finally, some people could start looking at the billboard and say, look at Ray Lytle. I'm proud of him. Or that Ray Lytle, he looks like a badass. No, it goes up and a fucking pandemic hits. It goes up on a 3-month run. Literally, it was up for
that too?
It was up for 1 week. No, it was not ruined by Sean. It was up for 1 week, and then a fucking pandemic hit. Everybody has to stay home. No one saw the billboard. And then they finally opened up, okay? We all go back, they open up. The day we open up is the day that billboard comes down. They put the new one up. God damn it, no one saw the billboard. Just my luck.
There were some people out driving.
And coronavirus could be the thing that finally kills off the penny.
Essential employees. Remember when essential employees had to have those papers? We all thought we were going to need those papers. Did you guys get those?
We didn't have to. In Sangamon County, we didn't have to because the sheriff put out a list before we went and got that shit. I think that Jim Leach actually got the paperwork.
I got one just for playing the Goo Goo Dolls. And, that's got to happen when, And I just felt like, wow, I'm an essential employee. It looked like something that you would have to show the police if they pulled you over. So I thought that's what the kind of thing we were going in.
I thought that's what was coming.
It's like, yeah, you'd have the papers, please. And because they hand you these, you have to have this.
Yeah.
And it had the whole seal of the government and the seal of the CDC. And
yeah, I never got mine.
I never used it. Never used it.
I was an essential employee for about a month. And then they shit canned me. But
how do you like going from essential? You are so essential. You have to counter a pandemic we don't need you at all.
And then do you know that now you can,
after the pandemic's over,
you can find out if your company got one of these PPP loans, okay? It's now public. So if you work somewhere, so I'm just wondering about did my company get a PPP loan, which they don't have to pay back in order to keep me employed and then fired me, which is a whole thing that I read yesterday, which is you should check. If you have been fired,
there's just a lot of that going on.
You should check because your company.
I mean, all corporations.
Your company.
Like I said, there'll be people that just, opportunists.
Yeah, your company may have taken one of those checks, and that was a personal payroll protection loan that the government gave companies so that they could pay their employees during the pandemic. That's what it was about. They took the money, which came in early April or whatever, and then they fired their employee. So if you were fired in late April, there's a good chance that your company took this money and then fired you anyway. So for those of you
universal you, not me.
Yeah. I'm saying I was fired.
My company's squeaky clean.
I think I was fired April 24th. Somewhere around there. Or whatever it was. So I'm just saying, anybody out there who doesn't have a job, you might want to check. And you could find the link. You could find a link to hit to see if your company was one of the ones who took the PPP loans. By the way,
and Ray will, of course, have that link for you.
I will, yeah. By the way, banks made they made $18 billion in fees from processing PPP loans.
But mine
Banks.
sent me a $28 recovery thing, or what? No, actually, that was my insurance company. Sent me $28 check.
Oh, look at that!
And I wonder if anybody gets those and thinks, "Oh my God, how generous! They really care." It's like, yeah, they don't. I'm sure the millions that came in.
How generous! Unbelievable. Let's see. Skip. Here's the daily new cases of coronavirus. 65,000. 65,000 new cases came in yesterday.
And I'm assuming you're seeing these videos of these people that are in stores, and you know, it's not bad enough that people record them on their phone from afar, you know, having a freak out about not wanting to wear a mask in a store. Now they're recording themselves. They're like going into a store with no mask on. They're the ones with the recording. They end up looking stupid, and they post it anyway.
You're saying that people
are one with the Costco guy where he just takes his cart and, "Hi everybody, I'm Ted from Costco, and this guy is not wearing a mask. It's our store policy. You have to. So I'm going to take his cart. Hi everybody," and walks away. That guy without the mask is the one that took the video.
Unbelievable.
I woke up in a free country today. So now people are taking their own videos.
My favorite video is the guy that goes into Costco. The guy that goes into Costco, he's walking, and then he walks up to the phone, the loudspeaker phone, and he holds it near his ass and he farts. That's my favorite.
Yeah, why can't we go back to simpler times like that?
That is my
Just a simple
favorite video, that guy farting in the Costco. I love that. It's fantastic.
When Terry used to live in a different house, before I met him, he had this little Austin Powers little box where it had 6 buttons on it. When you pushed a button, Austin Powers said something like, "Are you horny, baby?" And somehow he got hooked up to a very, very popular retail store in the area because he was all into like scanners and things like that, and was able to get into their thing and broadcast Austin Powers over the intercom. They couldn't figure out where it was coming from. They thought it was an employee.
Oh, I love it.
You know, people go in while he was doing it from home. God. Are you horny, baby?
I would love that.
Whatever happened to good, wholesome pranks like that?
Dude, like I remember back in the disaster days when we would have Mikey would stand in the hallway, and then we'd have someone page somebody. We'd page something at the radio station, and you could hear the whole thing throughout the building from him standing in the hallway. I love it. We would always have them page. We would call the front desk and say, "Can you please make this page that Jim the photographer is not allowed to blah, blah, blah." And he would stand in the, I swear to God, I would have someone go stand in a Walmart and have Terry, "Are you horny, baby?" play it over the loudspeaker. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, this is, again, if we had video cameras back
Oh
then,
my
like we do now.
God, that would.
But you couldn't exactly carry some big over-your-shoulder VHS thing.
I would do that every day. Oh my
I think he
God.
did for like a summer.
That's fantastic. He's found the frequency or whatever and made it to where people would be shopping. "Are you horny, baby?" It would be so cheesy.
Do I make you horny, baby? Was one of them. And hello, baby. Yeah. That was,
I love it.
There was like 6 buttons.
Austin Powers. By the way, COVID, 3.54 million cases in the United States. Sounds like a hoax to me. That's
us.
We are number 1.
Yeah,
So, you know.
that's a hoax. 3.54 million hoaxes. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think a guy doing online dating should post a shirtless selfie? Yes or no? Is that something a guy should do?
Online dating, should a guy post a shirtless
If you're
selfie?
online dating, should you post a shirtless selfie
On a dating site.
on a dating site?
as like your profile pic?
Yeah, just for any
As in
reason
the first thing
whatsoever.
they see from you? No.
You're saying no.
Like shirtless. Like a chest?
Just a shirtless, yeah.
Oh. I'm used to like cocks, you know, like the first picture's a cock. And then you find, you know, if you like the cock, then okay, well, what's the face look like? So I don't know what the shirtless looks
Which dating site do you go to when they're just
All
posting
of
cocks?
them. When was the last time you were on a dating site?
I don't go to dating
What,
sites.
you go to Christian Mingle or something?
No, but they don't allow do they allow cocks on dating sites?
Cocks on Christian Mingle. Literally and figuratively.
ChristianCock.com.
I've never been on a dating site. Do they allow nudity?
No, the only reason I would go on dating sites is to try to find people, that live around, that or whatever, people I know. That's the only reason
Like
people go
a-
on dating sites.
Like a
And see
Tinder
their
or
pitiful profiles.
what's
But yeah, if you go into like Adult Friend Finder or any of those.
is Grinder the gay Tinder? Is that what it's does anybody know?
Grinder is
Okay. Do they allow cocks on there?
No, not Grinder. Grinder's like the Walmart. And
So there
if
are.
you want,
You're saying there are
it's
much
like
worse
it's the
websites.
catch-all.
All right.
Yeah, it's the catch-all, and if you want specifics, then you go to other apps, and the
Well,
other apps allow.
If I'm gonna have a gay experience, I want to be able to see the cock first. I mean, I want to go to a site that's gonna show the cock before I
Well, you
hook up
if
with
the
some
person
stranger.
uploaded it, that's the only prerequisite. The person has to.
How do you know
We
it's
just
there?
lost 4 viewers, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry everybody. I'm sorry for talking about it. How do you know it's their cock?
You don't.
Oh.
Which, by the way, I'll tell you that idea I had for a business sometime.
You
I was going to take a team of people
Yeah.
and go around and verify people's penises. And, you get like a certificate, like a gold check or something that's like, no, this is real, this is mine. Because, you can just take any picture and put it all,
Yeah.
So I think that would have taken off.
So you like the Twitter blue dot, you would
Right.
you would
And
do
this
it,
was before Twitter. I mean, this was a long time ago.
you would do it for cocks. To say,
Right.
This is
I remember telling Jim the photographer this idea. It was that long ago.
oh, I could see him being all for it.
Oh, he was.
No one
He was
loved.
like he was going to have the other team go and look at vaginas and breasts.
There's never been anyone who enjoyed showing their penis more than Jim the photographer. That any chance at all, his cock was out and visible for everyone to see. There's never been a
I mean, he
person.
would show me.
There's
it's like,
never been a person alive who
If
enjoyed
you've ever
showing
been
their
going
cock.
through his, he'd hand you a stack of pictures or something from looking
Yeah.
from the remote or whatever. All of a sudden, here's Jim the photographer's penis in a hot dog bun.
Yeah, that
Funny, I
hot,
don't remember that at the remote.
that
That was
hot
a
dog
private photo.
that hot
How
dog
did that
photo
get
is
in
the
there?
one that almost got him fired in Peoria.
Oh my God! I remember the one that almost got him fired in Springfield, and I've told that
Oh.
story before. The Aerosmith tour bus.
I remember when we got sued when he was in the limo. We got sued. I got sued. I wasn't even my penis, and I was sued for this. And poor Tom Kushak was sued.
Wasn't his penis either.
It wasn't Tom's penis either. But we all got sued. It was because we gave away one of these days on the one. I could share it now. One of these times on the morning show, we gave away a ride to work in Shaner's limo with Jim the
Oh, yeah, I
photographer.
remember those.
And so Shaner, we whoever called in, and these women from, I forgot where they were from, they win the ride to work. So Shaner and Jim the photographer and I can't remember who else is in the limo. They go to pick the women up and take them to work, right? And on the ride to work, Jim decides to take his cock out. And Shaner was in the back of the limo, sitting next to him. And he was saying he was having conversations with these women, and he was just looking forward to the women. And he sees this one woman get a look on her face like she's going to throw up. And he's like, what's going on? And he looks down and he sees
Jim's playing with his cock in the limo.
Right.
And Shaner's like, put that away. He yells at him and stuff. The woman sued us.
Oh, for God's sake.
We were sued because of this. The radio station settled it. And I can't remember how many thousands of dollars it cost them to settle it. Tom said, I don't want to go to court over Jim's cock. He goes, we're just going to, and I remember fighting him going, I go, like, Tom, why am I being sued for this? Why are you being sued for this? I said, I love Jim, but he's got to be smarter than this. Why can't we just let him lose this case? And Tom told me, he goes, no, I don't want to have it on any of our records that we were sued.
Yeah, you think.
For taking out a cock. And I said, but no. And I was telling him we should fight it. And he goes, no, Ray, you don't know. We don't want anything about anyone taking out a cock on any of our, he didn't say permanent records.
I remember the St. Patrick's Day thing with the
oh my God.
leotard or whatever.
Oh my God.
You're supposed to wear underwear with those, Jim.
Yeah.
Hey.
Such a dumbass.
Not the way I wear it.
But I think
it was clear. I mean, it was clearly visible.
I remember Tom told me, he said, we have an insurance policy, and the insurance policy has a so many $1,000 deductible. And he said, so I'm just going to have the lawyer make an offer to the woman for $1 less than what it cost us to settle, what it costs, the deductible. And he goes, and if they take it, it'll go away. And that's what the station did. And we ended up paying so many $1,000 because Jim took his cock out in the back of the limo.
It was $3,000 an inch.
But I want to say it cost the station like $10,000 or something. Oh, because
it was $1,000 an inch.
And I just remember having a conversation with him saying, Jimmy, why would you think that was okay? And he goes, well, they wanted to see my cock. They told me they wanted to see it. And I'm like, you don't take it out.
No, because that could have been a plan the whole time.
Yes. If they somehow stumbled onto this fact, congratulations, they walked away with $10,000. They're like, boy, we can
probably turned on the radio and go, yeah, here's a ripe one.
Like, we can make $10,000 if we find someone stupid enough to take their cock out. I wonder who could possibly be that stupid. Hey, by the way, that's a true story.
It was down to him or one of the guys from DVR. Jim was the more attractive of the two.
I would just say that Jim had no problem taking his cock out. The picture Rocky was talking about with the hot dog bun, this is what it was. There was a girl in Peoria who was actually attractive.
The picture's notorious? I didn't even know it had a backstory.
Yeah, because she and her sister were these young Asian girls that took karate lessons from Jim or whatever the hell he taught, Taekwondo or whatever the hell it was. They were students of his, and he would give them he gave them lessons. And then one day after karate practice or whatever, he says, hey, you guys want to take some pictures? And he's like, yeah, I pay my models. So he's taking some erotic pictures. And these girls were attractive. Because I remember when he showed Lamb and I the photos, they were photos of the girls. And they were naked and I mean, gorgeous. And I'm like, how did you talk these? I said, do these girls know they're being picked? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, they actually signed releases. He goes, I can show you these pictures legally. He goes, they signed releases and they were paid for these photos. And so I'm looking at the photos. I'm going, okay. So I felt better about myself because they didn't look. There's no way they were older than, say, 19. And so I'm going through the pictures and I'm just, you look at one, then you take it and put it in the bottom. You know what I mean? I was just shuffling through the photos. And out of nowhere, there's a photo of the girl holding a hot dog bun, okay? And she's holding the hot dog bun, and she's got her mouth on the end of the hot dog bun. She's like, I'm going to eat this hot dog. And the picture is taken from in front of her. And so one picture is just an empty hot dog bun with her going, ah. The next picture is the hot dog bun with a flaccid cock in it. I think maybe it wasn't flaccid. I don't know. Whatever the hell it was. Maybe it was, I don't know. And I go.
It was decent. I mean, it filled the hot dog.
Yeah, it was, it did. It filled the whole bun. And I was like, and I remember going, I go, whose dick is that? He goes, hey, that's mine. She got
I think he was very proud of the fact that he could fill up.
He goes,
hot dog. I mean, why would he? It was in a stack of pictures from a remote. I don't even know about the girls, whatever. I mean, random. I mean, why would that be in there?
Yeah.
You know, when I saw it, it was completely out of place. It was just some random photo stuck in a stack of people at a remote.
I think he wanted Lamb and I to see the photo of his cock being in the hot dog.
Absolutely.
I don't think he cared
as well.
He didn't care anything about the hot girls that we were looking at. All he wanted us to do was to see the picture. He's such a pervert. And his penis was in the hot dog bun. And the girl's like, ah. And I was like, oh, what is this? And then he starts bragging about his penis. Well, those pictures were taken by someone in the sales office. He brings them to work. And someone in the sales, this guy named Wayne Miller, takes the photos and starts looking through them. And Wayne's looking at these young Asian girls, all hot. And so he shares them with another guy in the sales office. And the man's no longer with us, so I'm not gonna ruin his legacy. But he starts looking at them. And then one of the sales girls in Peoria sees the photos. And then she goes, ah! And she's freaked out by the photo of Jim's dick. And then she took it to our boss, Mike Ray, and showed him and filed a complaint. And I remember Lamb and I got in trouble, and we're like, it wasn't our cocks in the hot dog buns. What are we getting in trouble for?
That penis had a mole on it. I want everybody in a lineup with bags over their heads.
And I told Mike, I go, it's obviously not my penis is brown. That is not brown. And Mike goes, whose penis is it? I go, it's Jim's. I ratted him out immediately. I go, that's Jim. So he called Jim into his office. I don't know what was said.
Half the other people on the stage, oh yeah, that's Jim's. Yeah, I recognize that Jim's. Yeah, that's Jim's.
Yeah, everybody, yeah, everybody knew. But all I know is he got suspended because of bringing the picture to work and everything. And the suspension was he was not allowed inside the building. So John and I had him broadcast from outside the building. We wouldn't let him in.
I mean, why would you keep a picture like that, take it all the way to Springfield with you,
and then
start showing it again?
And Rocky, this was in '94 when he got suspended for that picture.
Until probably '97.
And then he brings it.
All his stuff.
He brings it to Springfield, and if I'm not mistaken, a salesperson, he gives it to the sales staff again, right? In Springfield, I think that's how they busted him.
I don't remember that. I remember the sales. That was a different picture that I remember that happening with in Springfield. And then, that was the Aerosmith tour bus picture.
Yes. And then
only his tongue was on it.
The same thing happened. He got in trouble because of the picture.
He laid it on the top of it was not the picture of the hot dog thing I saw was like 4x6, in a stack of pictures. The Aerosmith tour bus picture was blown up to 8x10.
It was
laying on top of the filing cabinet in the hallway.
Didn't he print it? He put it on a floppy disk, a JPEG of it, and then he printed it at work or something, right?
Yeah, and that was the 8x10
Oh
thing.
my
Yeah, it was blown up and laying right on top.
And I remember
it was basically on the tour bus. We had two buses going. I don't know why I keep saying tour bus. We had two listener buses that went to Aerosmith. One was kind of a party bus. One was kind of more of a mellow bus. You were on the more mellow bus. I was on the party bus with Jim. I was more in the front. He was in the back. There was all kinds of stuff going on in the back. He's, of course, a photographer, so he's got his camera out. And at one point, somebody else took his camera, and it's got a woman's vagina, completely unclothed. All you see is her vagina. Her legs are kind of spread. You see her vagina.
And he's
his
giving
tongue-
her, yes.
No, not giving her. His tongue was out, and that was his whole defense when the picture was found, was that it's okay because the tongue wasn't actually touching the pussy.
The
Every
tongue,
time somebody
yes.
goes, Jim, you can't put a picture of you eating out. So, and it wasn't eating out. My tongue was not touching. It was his whole, it's like, it doesn't matter.
It's
Why
not-
is that such a...
It was not
He
me
must have
giving.
said that like 15 times.
I was not giving cunnilingus. I was giving analingus. You can't tell the difference.
The tongue was not actually
Oh my
touching.
God.
It's like it's a picture of a big naked vagina. The tongue is irrelevant.
All I know is that we would get
Glue it up and
called.
put it on the top of a filing cabinet.
There are
in the
times
hallway.
I would get called into these meetings with Tom Kushak, who Tom was was bald, and he would get angry at Jim, and man never got angry. He very rarely got super angry at us. He would be disappointed, but never angry. Except when Jim would do shit like this, he would call us into his office, and he had this one vein in his forehead that would get so engorged.
It was like a reverse Harry Potter
Yes.
forehead.
And we would call it the Jim vein. When he would get so mad at Jim that he would lose it and start screaming. And this is the nicest, to this day, he's just one of the nicest men you'd ever meet. If anyone ever met Tom Kushak, he was a son of a bitch to negotiate with. You know what I mean? You could say a lot of stuff about things like that, but I'm telling you, he was the nicest man. He never yelled, except when Jim would do shit like this, he would lose it. And he would get that vein would swell up, and he'd be yelling at Jim. And I just remember he'd be going, "Why would you think that was okay?" At every single time. And Jim would argue, just like Rocky's saying, Jimmy would argue his point. And the first time you hear it, you're like, "Oh my God, that's the wrong argument, Jim." And he would
What the hell are you talking
he would continue to make it until Tom
But
would
I had on blue pants.
Yeah, Tom would be
It'd just
driven
be some
insane by the argument, and Jimmy would keep making it. Anyway, I do.
And it was always something so
Yeah.
absolutely avoidable. Like, just don't have a picture like that at work. Simple.
Even if you're going to do that in a tour bus on a station event, which, by the way, you shouldn't do anything, but even if you were,
those were some good times, though.
Why, even if you're going to do something like that, why would you take a picture of it?
Why would you blow the picture up and bring it to work?
Then, even if you take the picture, why wouldn't you keep that to yourself?
What happens on the bus
Oh,
stays on the bus. Nobody ever told him.
God.
No one told him.
I miss him, but he was such a stupid person. He really was. And a lot of the stuff he inflicted because of his own stupidity. But we should probably wrap up today. We wrap up with a good Jim story for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That is today's morning disaster. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I'm always happy when we can end with a Jim story, especially one as stupid as stupid as that one. That'll wrap it up today. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock a.m. for another edition of Ray Little's Morning Disaster. The show's been brought to you by Recon Tex in the corner of 9th and Black. Recon Tex 670-1132. Let them get you scheduled for a detailing today. And Core Installation Furniture and Supply. Right now they have masks, sanitizer, and gloves. It's Core Installation 741-1079. So long, everybody.
There's a man who got up at 4 a.m. just to play you Zeppelin and Pearl Jam. Raymond Lytle is his name. Some have called him just a bit insane. Well, you may find him a little idiotic, but his is the only morning show you can say has really got it. Slam Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. With Central Illinois, morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. Sean Bull and Scott, news and sports. Bodine's running down North Grand in his undershorts. Michelle will dwell on things colored pink and purple. They'll explain why Jim made a remake of that movie called The Black Hole. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. The Central Illinois morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's morning disaster.
See you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock. That's going to wrap up today's edition of Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. Thanks to Rocky, Nick, Doran, Nikki, and everybody. Hillbilly Joe called in. Oh, my God. To Rob and so many of you, thank you so much for listening. We're back tomorrow with another new show starting at 8 o'clock. So long, everybody. Let's get this replay started of today's show. Thank you so much for listening.
Say, kids, what time is it?